So, ladies and gentlemen, to take the next session of leveraging data analytics for decision making, I'd like to invite Dr. Emeka Ogbuju from the Department of Computer Science, Federal University of Lokoja. Please come on board.
All right, good afternoon. Okay, so I'm the only person that is not layer 3. And I am also not ICDL, and I'm not a businessman. Yes, I am a teacher. Yet. Are you sure I'm going to be? I am a teacher, so, and I like teaching. And I'm proud to be a teacher. And I'm going to turn this place into a classroom. Please give me my slide. I have 40 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay. So I have 30 minutes. I prepared for 1 hour, 15 minutes. And I prepared so seriously that I added demos and practical sections. And I wanted you to bring out your laptop and do what I will be teaching right here for 1 hour, 15 minutes. But now they have reduced it to 30 minutes. What do you want me to do now? So, I'm going to turn... Okay. So, he has increased it now to 35 minutes. Okay, 40 to 40 minutes. Okay. All right, because I like practical. Most times when I attend events like this, we just do slide and people go, and there is no, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm being a practical person, a hands-on person. I want a situation. Please, as I'm talking, get my slide so that I will be very fast. I am unconventional, please. I don't follow protocols. All the protocols has been followed. Right now, it is classroom. Everybody here is under my studentship. So please follow me one after the other until I complete my own section. All right. No, please get me my section so that I will start from there. I want to thank you also for bringing me to come to this place. Most especially, I got this invite from my student, my former master student, and currently my PhD student. Who is your secretary? Assistant secretary. Who is your assistant secretary? Mr. Rock. That's my PhD student. He's bigger than me, you can see that. Okay. So that's how I am here. Okay, so now I am still looking at this so that, remember, my time is small. So that it can be very fast for me. Is it really difficult? Leveraging Data Analytics by Dr. Emeka Ogbuju. Have you found it? It's on a PowerPoint. Yeah, that's it. Correct. Leveraging Data Analytics for Decision Making by myself, Emeka Ogbuju. And I am addressing the committee of directors of ICT in Nigerian tertiary institutions. I was a member. Yes, I was a member. While I was in Salem University, I was a director of ICT, so I was a member of this committee. But today I'm no longer a member. So that is about me. Okay. I have a lot of degrees and I have a lot of professional association, including NCS and CPN. And I'm a head of department. I'm acting dean. I am in the Nigerian university system. I am married to one female wife. She's a female. Very, very important. And it's not AI. That wife is not AI. That my face you are seeing there was done by AI. This is not original me. This is the original me. That one is AI. Okay, so that's about me. This is a theory of what I will be talking about. There are 2 slides that talk about it, and I want you to read it together with me. Let's go, 1, 2, go. Everything rises and falls on data. Data has become the foundation upon which meaningful and impactful decisions are made. Every individual, whether student, staff, or administrator, is an agent of data, constantly generating valuable information through daily activities, interactions, and systems usage. The responsibility to harness this vast and growing pool of data for informed, evidence-based decision making lies with us all. To do this effectively, it is essential to master the techniques and principles of data analytics. Now, this is the last one we are reading together. This includes understanding key tools and frameworks for collecting, cleaning, analyzing, and visualizing data, as well as more advanced technologies, such as 3 of them: machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. Now, directors of ICT in Nigerian tertiary institutions must champion the integration of these technologies into software systems and institutional processes. This will not only modernize infrastructure, but also empower institutions to become data-driven organizations capable of making proactive and strategic decisions that drive academic and operational excellence. So that's a theory of everything I'll be talking about. So I will say these things now very fast in the next 20 minutes. So I will introduce you to data analytics in higher education. Then we look at the categories of data in tertiary institutions, key benefits. That is actually my PhD thesis. Everything rises and falls on data. Remove data, everything fails. Okay? Put data well, everything also rises. So we cannot talk about strategic decision making without data. So that's why we must learn properly how to utilize data effectively. And I've said also that all of us here are agents of what? Data. The time you came here is data. The time you have spent here is data. The time you are leaving is also data. And every other thing, just data about timing. I can generate data about the food you have eaten here. I can generate another data about many other things, even including your dressing. The pictures that are being taken here, all of them are all data. Including these slides that are here, they are all data sets, every one of them. Everything you can think of around here now, we can create database system for them, and they begin to use them very well. And we are gradually moving away from not just having databases, but we are now in a world where we have data lakes, not databases anymore, but data lakes. And we are now looking for more advanced ecosystem that can take care of those data from time to time. So I said that ICT directors are sitting on the oil well of the institution, because data is actually the new oil, according to David. Data is a new oil, so you are the one now in charge of the oil well of your institution right now. And if you know how to harness those data, collect them, put them in order, then you'll be able to do well in your own institution. There are different categories of data we keep generating in our institution, which we need. Academic data are there about the student performance, administrative data. Just as I've told you, things I can generate here now. In your administration, you can generate HR data, finance, procurement, and several other things. Even on your ICT infrastructure, and even system usage data for cybersecurity operations, your log, and all of that. What you are seeing on the screen is a log I put there. There is even images of student faces and all of that. I can use them to do some image detection analysis, and several things can happen with them. There's also data that can be on rows and columns, okay? So those data sets, we can use them to do some supervised type of learning when I'm doing machine learning. In my library, in the data, there's data in library. On the LMS, I don't know in Nigeria today how many universities are using LMS, okay, but LMS is actually the right thing for all of us to use in all our universities. In fact, if there is a takeaway you should go from what I'm talking about here now is that please, if you are not using LMS in your university, go home and implement it. Because we cannot be talking about being ICT director and you are not using a learning management system in your university. Work with the head of departments and put up a learning management system for every course that is in that particular university. It helps a lot. There are several benefits about that. Okay, and then we can now generate several metrics and all that. There are several other categories. So data can actually be on images. When I'm having images, I can perform some deep learning operations with them for artificial intelligence. You know, you've been hearing AI. I've heard about AI also here. I'm not a user of AI. I'm a creator of AI. My PhD primarily is on AI, PhD artificial intelligence. So I studied AI from beginning. All of these things we are talking about, students are using AI, are using them wrongly and all of that. You can't stop it. In fact, you must live with it. And the only way out, let me tell you the solution. I've had some things here. The solution is called co-creation. What did I say? Co-creation. So go home now and do what is called co-creation workshop in your university and teach your students how to co-create with the AI system. That's the only way out. Okay? There is something called prompt engineering in co-creation. In your co-creation workshop, do prompt engineering. In that prompt engineering, you'll be able to tell the students how to think with the AI and create their thesis with the AI. I supervised master, I think it was last week, one of my master students submitted chapter 1 to chapter 3 of the work, and it was generated by AI, and he said it wasn't generated by AI. And that's one of the things I hate. I don't like students who lie. Don't lie, because looking at your work, even some of the slides that we are presented here as I was sitting down here, we are generated by AI. I sat down here and look at them, I know them, because they are all large language model, generative AI, that's my line. Looking at them without any detection tool, I know them. So instead of saying students shouldn't use it, students should, no. Simply go and show them how to use it, and they will use it effectively. I've written about 4 books this year. 4 books this year by the help of AI. 4 books this year by the help of AI. How? I know co-creation, I know prompt engineering, and I can do that very well. So there are other certifications. Go to COL and learn COL. Commonwealth of Learning. How many of you know about that? Yes. Learn prompt engineering things and all that, and several other things that can be done. That's a distraction. I think I should be focusing here. I'm saying that if you are not using these, you will remain blind in a world that is demanding for vision. So many benefits are here, and these are different benefits and all that. Types of analytics for our decision making is important for me to talk about this. There is descriptive analytics. Where you are running, there are 4 major types of analytics. About data analytics, there are 4 of them. One is descriptive analytics, which is telling us what has happened. Okay, so in the past. Then the other one is diagnostic. This one is why did that thing happen? Okay, people have churn. Why did they churn? A student drop out. Why did the student drop out? So you can ask such a question and use analytics tools, which I'm going to show you, to be able to do diagnostic analytics. Then predictive analytics is much common. Okay, what is likely going to happen is more of your prediction, more of your forecasting that can be done. Then prescriptive is what should be done. And I gave an example, infrastructure investment recommendation. You want to buy this, buy this, buy this. Which one should be the best to be done? So these are the major. Anytime you hear of data analytics, it can fall under any of these 4. There is no other type apart from these 4. And with this, we can do several things like the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, deep learning, machine learning for the 2, either supervised or unsupervised. We can do any of this from there. These are the tools and technologies you need for anything on data. So once you master don't master all of them, just master one or two. You are okay. All right? Data warehousing and dashboard with Power BI or Tableau. So if you are going to do well in this line, just any of these is okay. Either Power BI or Tableau, any one. Cloud-based analytics solution, you have heard of several other ones here. So you can choose any one you want to choose. You can use, I'm not marketing anyone anyway. There is open source tools. Python and R is the most important programming tool. I'm talking to ICT directors, so I'm talking to technical people, is that not? So you must know Python programming to very good extent, and then R to also very good extent. Especially if you are going to be deploying models, building models and deploying them, then you must understand Python programming. I did a lot of them. I came here with several of them today, but no time for that. Then you now have to know how to integrate these things into your LMS platform if you have an LMS system right in your institution. So these are the tools and technologies required. So for my practical section, I came with data sets. I have examples of different things I can show and do demo, but that is not going to work. But simply go to superdatascience.com. Once you get to this place in superdatascience.com, you will be able to download all these. Look at them here. I just have to do this morning. You can see the time I did that. Just download all of these with the examples and all of that. I also have the video that can enable you do them and do them effectively. So how to do data pre-processing, because once you get data, usually it's very, very dirty. You need to clean it up by pre-processing it. Then perform either a regression analysis or a classification analysis or a clustering based on what problem you want to solve. And then there are other things you can do, like association rule mining if you're doing a market basket analysis or things that relates to that. Okay, and then reinforcement learning. Then NLP is one powerful thing that is reigning today, which I believe everybody in Nigeria, if you're here, you are a PhD student, the best PhD topic you need right now in Nigeria is NLP. Or you are masters NLP. Why? Because in Nigeria, we have a very low resource language problem. Okay, and we have many languages that are underrepresented. Okay, so how many, can we find your language online? That's a major thing. And then can those languages utilize AI? And today we have several things we can use AI to do, but we lack those data. AI today is biased. Most of the AI platform that we are using are all biased. The reason is because the data sets were not done properly. Nigerian data sets are not part of it. And if you are to be a student or you have students, your supervisors that are doing anything, let them be the one to help create data sets that will help us build AI systems that are indigenous and will solve our own local problem with local content. And that makes it more responsible AI usage most of the time, and not biased system based on what is in the Western world. So you can go to Super Data Science and pick some of these things. Then what are the frameworks? Okay, I have 5 sections I wanted to do, like 10 minutes, I will do those sections, but they are just on the slides, okay? The first one there is to do a decision simulation and show you how to use PowerPoint and with Power BI. Okay, I choose Power BI. You can use Tableau, and these are some things that you can do. The school wants to invest in new computer labs. Where should funds be allocated based on the system usage? So this, remember I talk about evidence-based decision making in my theory. So for you to get evidence, you now need to collect the right data and then use Power BI and run a visualization on this. The next one I wanted to do is predictive analytics, and I would have done that with Python. Okay, and I have the data set with me to be able to do that. All of them are all here, so those who are interested can also pick them as well. So you use frameworks in doing them. I think if I talk about the framework, I will be fine, because if you understand this framework, you can do it by yourself. There are 2 major frameworks we use anytime you are doing machine learning or artificial intelligence operations or some. So the one of them is called CRISP-DM. The other one is called KDD, Knowledge Discovery in Databases. So the one you are seeing on your screen right now is CRIPS-DM, Cross-Industry Standard Process for Data Mining. That's what you're seeing there, and there are 6 steps to follow. The first one is business understanding. You must understand the context of that particular business or the operation. After that, you do data understanding. Data understanding and business understanding will go hand in hand so that you know the type of data to collect in order to do the right sort of model. And then after that, you will prepare your data. It's there in data preparation that you do your cleaning operations, pre-processing operations, and all of that. What to remove, what not to remove, what should be there, how the data should be presented, and then you perform modeling. Under modeling is where you now apply your machine learning algorithms. There are several machine learning algorithms that can be applied. Okay? Decision trees, random forest, support vector machine, and several of them. Convolutional neural network for if I'm doing a deep learning operation, okay? And then I can also use pre-trained AlexNet and all of those stuff there under my modeling based on what I'm doing. And then I will perform evaluation. There are several evaluation criteria that I utilize. In evaluation, I can evaluate based on accuracy, based on precision, based on F1 score, and all of that. These are your statistical evaluation methods. And anytime you're building a model, you don't build one model, you build at least 3 models using different algorithms. And the way you perform your evaluation, you look at the one that outperformed the others. That one that outperformed the others, we go to the last stage, which is called what? Deployment. That's the one you are now taking to production. When you come for production, for those of you in software engineering, okay, you now apply under deployment your software engineering methodology, where you have agile methodology, Scrum, and all of those things. This is where you apply it there. But now you realize that everything started from data, so that in future you are not going to be able to be there to operate the system. The system operates itself because it has AI operation right from it. So this is the primary way of building an AI system. So it's called CRIPS-DM. Okay, this is visuals for Power BI. I have them there. Let's go to the other one. Okay, this is the one. You know, I told you that there are 2. Okay, CRIPS-DM and what? You are not following me. KDD, knowledge discovery in databases. This one is called KDD. That's what I have on my board. So KDD follows 5 steps, while CRIPS-DM follows how many? 6 steps. So there are 5 steps to follow here. And you use KDD most of the time because I know that is where you are based. KDD because you have your portal systems or your student EMS system or something. You have them. It's coming from a database. Any data coming from a database is called data at rest. Such data at rest utilizes this pattern of KDD. But if data is not coming from a database, like from your learning management system or your institution, it's going to come from online, or you collected it from images or something, then it's not coming from a database. The best thing to use will be the CRIPS-DM because it's cross-industry standard process. However, this is tied to a database system. So here you perform the selection of the data you want, pre-process it, transform it, perform data mining, which is your normal modeling you would have done there, and then you have your interpretation done at that particular stage. Okay, the last particle I would have loved to do will be a descriptive analytics using normal Excel, which I know majority of us know. So if you have used Google Sheet before or Excel before, majority of the data sets we have in Nigerian universities are on Excel. Is that not true? They are on rows and columns. So most of the time, all these bigger things we used to talk about, we may not even get to them. We use normal Excel, and with your normal Excel, you solve, your life become easy. Okay, so let me talk about the challenges and considerations. So there are data quality and governance is a very big challenge that we are having. So if I have said everything rises and falls on data and your data quality is poor, very poor data quality, nothing rises. Okay, nothing good, nothing nothing will happen. So we have to get good data quality and then have good governance around that particular data quality, and then fill up skills gap, like this sort of wonderful seminar workshop you're having right now is filling a skill gap. Some of the things I'm saying here, some may hear you for the first time, some is just reminding you, and skill gap is already being created. Then you can do further workshop and all that. People have resistance to data-driven culture practices and all of that. And then there is also this NDPR for how to protect data, how to anonymize data and all of that. There's one I didn't put here. That one is a big problem in Nigeria. We close our data. There is no open data system in Nigeria, and I don't know why. Okay, I supervise students a lot, and then when I supervise them, I say, go and pick data set or get data set. And they will not release the data set for them. So why are you hoarding data? If you're hoarding data in your institution, you are not helping anything. I can show you in America how their open data system works. Any agency, any department, any ministry in America have an open data. You can simply go there, pick that data, clean it up, and use it to build a model. Why will that system not work? But right here in our country, in Nigeria, our data culture is quite poor. But thank God, I think NDPR are really working, they are trying to do some good works this time around. I'm seeing most of the work, actually in privacy and how to keep data. So let's make our data open. It will really, really help us. Let me make recommendations very fast. Why not think of national data governance framework for Nigerian tertiary institutions? I don't know if there's anything like that existing, but this is one of the things you can think about. So a national data governance framework for Nigerian tertiary institution that will specify clearly how data should be collected from students, how data should be stored, how it should be pre-processed, how it should be anonymized and be put for open use or modeling, okay, and how data should be protected. This is the framework that is called governance. From the creation of that data down to its use in producing either a prototype or a product. So this is one of, and I think this is the right committee that should do that, because you own this data. You are sitting on the data. You are in charge of the data. It's not even the vice chancellor. You are the one, because the ICT infrastructure is in your hand. You have the data of the university. In fact, if you know what you can do with that data, maybe the VC should be begging you for money. Sorry to say that. ICT teams should actually learn about data literacy and then know about analytics tools, invest in data infrastructure, and then foster interdepartmental collaboration of data. There is this silo operation I have seen working in Nigeria, where the data of computer science department is hidden from physics department. Why? Why should it be so? In Nigeria, we had something of that nature, but I think it is being closed gradually. Okay, where if you go to police station, you fill one data. When you go to the bank, you fill another one. If you go, you keep filling up and down and all of that. But I think BVN system is trying to solve all of that and bring some sanity, so that silo systems will be broken. In your institution, don't also create silo systems of data. The data should be interoperable. There's something we call fair data practice. Rock is the professor of fair data. What is fair data again? F is what? S is what? No. Fair data practice. F is what? A fair. F is what? Findable. A is what? Accessible. I is what? Interoperable. And R is what? Reusable. That's when you get when your supervisor is invited. That's what you get. Yes, he has passed. He has passed. He has passed. So it's called fair data principle. Fair data principle. So the data must be available, must be findable, must be interoperable in any of those departments. Don't hide them and all of that, so that we can be able to use them to do inter-departmental operations for strategic decisions in your university. Roadmap for implementation, very quickly. I think how many minutes more?
Somebody say 1 hour.
Once you give me time, I usually follow time. I don't. So I know how many minutes I have more.
1 hour more.
They are giving me 1 hour more. Okay. Ooh, wonderful. Thank you, sir. All right. You see, I am winning. So, okay, we are winning. All right. So it means that if you are interested in the practicals, I will have 20 minutes to do some practicals. And that will be so fine. And then I also have the videos of those practicals for demos and all of that, so that if we didn't finish anything of the demo or something, we can now move on ahead. Okay, let me show us the roadmap we can use for implementing this. Start with small pilot projects. You know, I have said big things. And let me also say this. Forget about all those hype. They say AI this, AI that, AI that. Don't be discouraged that the thing is too big. Start with small ones. Start with predicting student performance. Collect data set about the performance of students and then run a prediction. Start with predicting admission rates. Collect those data set of admissions and all of that, and then begin to build models on them. Okay? Start with which other one can you start with again? Staff employment. Yes, there are staff data. You have the HR information also with you. So start with them. Student what? Academic performance. I've said that one. Gender-based ahead. There are some disparities on gender and all of that. And you can also build such a model that will determine cutoff point. Why do we have those cutoff points go up this year, next year come down and all of that? Can we have a system that is standardized with AI and then it just determine all of that? So look out for very small pilot projects in your university, in your faculty, that you can use to build a model and then work towards deploying that model into production. For students here, or for those who are a master's or something, if you are doing production at deployment level while I was there, you can use Flask. How many of you know about Flask? In Python? Okay, yeah, those that know Flask. You use Flask in your deployment, and it can either be an app or a web-based framework that you can do, and then you can just deploy them. And once you have small models in different sort of functions, your institution is building it over before you know it, in your ICT department, you have an AI model that can do this. They want to do this. Yes, we have an AI model that can do it. Yes, there's an AI model we have done. It can do it. There is, just go to this URL, go to this one, go to this one. There is, even if you have, okay, I think we have talked about cloud deployment. So you don't even need Streamlit. How many of you know about Streamlit? How many? Streamlit? Okay, only 2 persons. Streamlit. So you can use Streamlit in doing them, or simply deploy them in your cloud-based operation, and then you are sure that there are small pilot projects that is AI compliant and can do several things for the university, and it can all be done. Let me also say this one. I think this is very important for doing small projects. For students who are in information technology, cybersecurity, computer science, software engineering, what do they do in their final year projects? I'm not even talking about master students. You know, we keep turning out those master students and the PhD students and all of them, and there is no or little or no impact in the university whereby those things we are developed from. So, and I know the reason. The reason is that the academics, the HOD is working on his own. The ICT director is also working on their own. There is no synergy between the two. But if there will be a synergy, you know the problems of the institution, give it to the head of the department, let the HOD produce projects that are going to do every bit of those things. Oh, that's good. Okay, I've taken note of that. All right, so I'm not just talking about the universities alone. I'm also talking to the polytechnics. I'm talking to the College of Education. So you can also do any of these things. And let me also say this. Do you know that when it comes to AI and technical skills, you don't even need to be a computer science student to do it well? Are you aware? I have seen somebody who is studying biology and is doing powerful well. Should I say this one on air? I know you guys are recording this thing. One of the best hands we have in some of our universities, in the university where I came from, studied fine art. There's nothing computer science or anything, but they can do these things and it works very well. So it can be anybody as well. Then identify key performance indicators as you are doing these things. Set up data reporting cycles and dashboards. Like for those doing Power BI or Tableau, there must be dashboards. If you are going for a meeting, I don't know how to put this one now. You are going for a meeting. Why should you go to meeting with paper reports that are not showing dashboards? In this our world today, meeting should be with reports that are showing dashboards. Then very fast now. Review and refine based on several feedback. Then feedback analytics. What do you do with all the test data set in your institution? What do you do with them? You know, I have talked about, the data of rows and columns, name, age, phone number, gender. These are what you usually have, okay? And there is also data of images, okay? There is also text. Have you seen suggestion boxes in your university? How many of you have suggestion boxes in your university? What do you do with them? And students write some of those suggestions and they put them there. So, and then instead of leaving them, we can do a feedback analytics. This is where I'm talking about what is called natural language processing, whereby I can collect all the tests that the students have written and then put them into an NLP system, a model already built, and it can be able to perform for me a feedback analytics. That feedback will tell me if the feedback is positive, negative, or neutral. It can also go ahead to tell me if the emotions in that feedback are either anger, happiness, joy, any. There are 8 basic emotions. It can give me all of that. Suicidal feeling. From there, you already know what is going to happen and all of that. One of my students did a project that has a bot that collects every information. The bot follows you online, and it collects all the information you are posting. And from there, it can be able to now predict you have suicidal tendencies or not. And then we can now know the sort of help to give you for counseling operations and all that. And we do that using natural language processing. What I put down there are all natural language processing operations already happening in Nigeria. Okay, I told you earlier, if you are doing master's, PhD, anything, all you need to do is NLP. That's the best way to go for Nigeria now. So don't look for any topic any other place. Just go to natural language processing. It can solve many problems in Nigeria. Okay, meet your supervisor, say I'm interested in natural language processing, and then you can now begin to chat your way around it. Okay, there are sentiment lexicons that can be done in Igbo, in Hausa. The Igbo sentence was developed by me. At least this one is from my lab. So I am an Igbo man. I speak Igbo, and there is no Igbo sentiment lexicon available for AI operations in natural language, in Igbo language. So what am I going to do? I simply got a grant, went to Italy. So in the practical, what is there is image analysis, and then there are data sets that I've already collected. Those data sets, some of them are raw, some of them have been cleaned. So what I will require you to do is to collect these data sets right now. Then log it. I don't know how many of you have your Python operations, Python installed in your system. That would be so okay. Well, that would look like a model. He was saying that I should just do, then you now look. Yes. I wanted you to do. I wanted you to do because it's more natural when you try it yourself and see that it is easy for you to be done. But whichever way, I can just try to show. Let me finish up this and show. Okay. So what I was saying here about your data set is that there are test data set available in your institution. Don't lose it. You can use it to make your feedback analytics and report to the management. This is actually what the students are saying or what they are not saying. You can go to the social media network of your institution and pick up things about it, perform your NLP operations on them, and report back to the institution. So tests are powerful and we can utilize them. Even memo, minutes that are written for your meeting are all test data sets and they can be used for analytics. I performed one for FUL where I am coming from that is able to pick all the addresses of the Vice Chancellor and previous Vice Chancellor and use it to determine the direction of the institution in the next 10 years. You see what that can do? So that's how powerful these things are. They are simply AI operations and the tools are not too much difficult to do. Then the conclusion part will drive innovation through analytics, become enablers of intelligent, agile institution, position the institution for digital transformation, and also for global competitiveness. So data is the key takeaway of the things you are going to do now. First, I have said in this that data is a strategic asset. That's the first thing I want to take away. If you didn't remember anything, remember that what? Data is a strategic asset. Then A is abandon manual processes. Don't do paperwork anymore. It doesn't help us in managing our data effectively. Even the feedback analytics I just talked about now, you can use Google Form. I hope you know Google Form. To collect feedback instead of putting feedback boxes in different places. And there are several other things you can do to collect feedback and all that. So all manual processes should actually go. Everything should be automated, data collection automated, and operations done powerfully. And T, turn every data you have into insight. And that's the AI here. Use analytics tools and dashboards to translate all your raw data into meaningful information that can either be doing prediction, prescription, or any of the four I talked about. And then the last one is apply AI for advanced analytics. What of security? I hope we collect people's image, our students' image. We collect them. You have their passports. So with that particular passport, you can perform a lot of image analytics to implement security right on campus. And then also to implement access management and access control. Because with that data, I will know this student is meant for this hall and for this class. And only that image will be displayed there to allow the student to be able to come in. One of my master students did a work on what is called access control management system. What that one is doing is, okay, it was during the time of a face mask. If you detect face mask on your face, it will grant you access. If it doesn't detect face masks, it will block access. So you can use the Sentinel also to know students who are assigned to a particular hall for a lecture, or who belong to that lecture. And if the system gives access that yes, the student is here, once you show yourself, it can grant you access or no access. So these are how to apply AI for your different advanced analytics. There is a bonus point I put here. You lead the transformation as an ICT director and do your revolution effectively. So can I get my laptop now so that I will be able to show? These are question and answer time. Thank you.